Welcome back to the next section of Union Kitchen's Career Development Program. In this video, we will be going over what a cover letter is and the three core parts of a cover letter, as well as what to write about in your cover letter and tips on how to write one. You can find this information and more in the Cover Letter Building Guide packet. Alongside the packet, this video will provide you with the information you need to build a strong cover letter. For more guidance, the Career Development Program is also always available to help you update or edit your cover letter. Let's begin by defining what a cover letter is. A cover letter is a one-page letter that describes your professional experiences and expresses your interest in a particular role. This document is often read alongside your resume and should therefore explain why your qualifications and past experiences make you a good fit for the role that you are applying to. A cover letter consists of three core parts: an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Each section should restate your interest in the position and the company, as well as why you are qualified for the role. Let's explore these three parts in depth. To begin with, you will start your cover letter with an introduction. This should be a short paragraph that outlines the purpose of your letter. To do so, you should state the position that you are applying to, the company that you wish to work for, your interest in the role, and what makes you qualified for the job. Since this is an introduction, you do not need to go into depth about each section, but you should make the reader want to keep reading your application. The body of the letter consists of 1 to 3 paragraphs that elaborate on your past experiences and qualifications. While these points may be similar to the ones you made in your resume, you will want to go into more detail here. Tell a short story that demonstrates your soft skills or proves that you are the ideal candidate. Talk about the times you went above and beyond in your role and when you were recognized for your work by your colleagues. Since this is where you should prove your value to the company, you should also express your personal interest in the role. Write about what you hope to achieve in this position and what skills you can offer. The final section is the conclusion. This is your last chance to prove to the reader that you are the ideal candidate and that you should move forward in the application process. To do so, restate your interest in the position and why you are a great candidate. Then, thank the reader for taking the time to review your application and express your interest in a follow-up. When writing your cover letter, you want to make sure that you prove to your reader that you are the best candidate for the role. To do so, you should consider why your professional experiences, your academic knowledge, and your personal motivations situate you as the ideal candidate. Here are a few guiding points to consider when writing. Your professional history may be one of the most powerful assets that you have in your job application. Show off what you have accomplished in the past here in your cover letter by telling the story about the time you exceeded expectations or surpassed the targeted business metrics. Write about the time your colleagues acknowledged your work ethic or when you received an award for a special project. While your resume outlines the responsibilities you had in each position, your cover letter should elaborate on how you work and what you accomplish. Regardless of what type of education or training you had, you should still address your educational background. This could be by stating the courses you took and the certifications you received, as well as addressing your future academic goals. If you completed some studies, what were they in? What motivated you to study these? Even if they are unrelated to the field that you are applying to, you can write about the study skills and lesson takeaways that could be relevant to the position. Regardless of what your motivation is when applying for a job, you have a personal interest in the positions you submit applications for. Express this personal interest or motivations to personalize your application. While you don't want to include any specific personal information, you can still include notes on what you hope to achieve in the position and why you want to work at this company. For a list on what not to include in your cover letter, take a look at the do's and don'ts of cover letter writing in the Cover Letter Building Guide packet. These are all things to consider when writing your cover letter, or even before when you are outlining or drafting. If you need more help or assistance with writing and editing, email us and the Career Development Program can guide you. We can even help you if you don't know where to begin. Let's take a look at this sample cover letter to see how Caroline wrote her cover letter. At the top of her cover letter, Caroline presents her contact information. This way, the reader knows how to contact her if they choose to follow up with her after reviewing her application. Caroline then greets the reader by addressing the recruitment coordinator, James Doe. Caroline found this name while conducting company research and specifically found James Doe on the employer's website under Our Team. If she didn't find a specific name, Caroline could have addressed the recruitment department in general by saying, "Dear Washington Center Recruitment." We know that Caroline is applying at the Washington Center because she states this in her introduction. We also learned early on that she is applying for the Senior Administrative Assistant position at the Washington Center. By stating this in the first sentence, she makes it clear for the reader, James Doe, to know her motivation and reason for the letter. This interest is further elaborated as she expresses how she wants to challenge herself by taking on a new role and addresses her current organizational skills that she has gained over the past 2 years of providing similar administrative assistance and office management support. Just by reading the introduction, James Doe, the recruitment coordinator, learns which position Caroline is interested in and why she could be a good candidate for the role. Caroline goes into more detail about her 2 years of experience in her body paragraphs. Here, she has more space to prove to James that she is a qualified candidate. To do so, she elaborates on the responsibilities she mentioned in her resume and gives the specific example of overseeing and managing the 14th Annual Healthcare Assistance Forum. She goes back even more by writing about her first position as office assistant at the Bureau of Health and Well-Being. Similarly, she writes about her office organization skills, as well as her technical skills in Google Suite, QuickBooks, and more. Caroline briefly discusses the courses she took in office management, business administration, and human resources at the University of Washington, D.C. She also addresses that she took these courses in order to continue her growth in this field. Caroline concludes her cover letter with a powerful statement that addresses why she is qualified for the role. She does so by listing her experience in scheduling, event coordination, and administrative support, alongside her continuing studies. She also connects her skills to the position, reminding recruitment coordinator James Doe why she is writing to him for the position at the Washington Center. She finishes her letter by stating her interest in continuing the conversation regarding her candidacy. In the sign-off, she thanks James for taking the time to review her application and signs. Caroline has written a strong cover letter that gives James reason to call her for a follow-up interview. Here, she can ask him specific questions that she has regarding the role and the company. If you would like someone to look over your cover letter, email us as we can help you write, edit, and tailor your cover letter to fit the demands of a specific role. You are now prepared to write your own cover letter. Take a look at the cover letter building guide packet to see these tips and explanations, as well as an annotated outline and a template to write on your own. And don't forget that the Union Kitchen Career Development Program is also here to help you build a strong application, no matter how far along you are in the process. We are here for you.